You're born, you grow, you eat, you sleep, you go to primary school, you do your UPSR, you go to secondary school, you do your PMR, you get streamed into science, you do your SPM, you go to university, you graduate, you find a stable job with a respectable company, you work there for 40 years, you retire, you play with your grandchildren, you die. That was the ideal life, wasn't it? Growing up, graduating, and having job security for the rest of your life. It was something drummed into us by our parents, right along with every little helps and tiny drops of water make the mighty ocean. And while no economy can function without its mighty worker bees, for an economy to truly thrive, for it to move forward and grow, it also needs that occasional black sheep, the entrepreneur.
And I'll bet what you hated the most is that they identified me as a co-founder of Facebook, which I am. I'm not coming back for 30%. I'm coming back for everything.
But what is an entrepreneur? Let me tell you a story. It's about Philo Farnsworth. Now, Philo Farnsworth invented the television. He was a farm boy, and his inspiration for the scanning lines of the cathode ray tube came from the back and forth motions of plowing a field. This was the beginning that eventually led him to the hypothesis that images could be transmitted electronically over great distances. Philo Farnsworth was the man with the grand idea. His brother-in-law, however, was a man named Cliff Gardner. Now, Cliff had no previous knowledge of the subject, engineering or anything of that sort. All he had was a high school diploma and a sense of boldness. He would study Philo's diagrams, and whilst he had absolutely no understanding of the mechanics behind his brother-in-law's invention, he knew that it had tremendous potential. He also knew that it would require glass tubes. So he learned to make glass tubes. Within just a few months, Cliff had mastered the fundamentals and was well on his way towards building the world's first electronic television camera tube. Cliff was the entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are people who see opportunities where others do not. They are innovators. They recognize an unsatisfied demand and then set out to fill that space with new businesses and new ideas. They believe in hard work and commitment. They fight tooth and nail against that crippling credo that goes, "That's just how things are done." Malaysians of all ages are setting up shop and creating businesses. From your average Rumley burger to made-to-order ice creams, from online fashion magazines to blog shop empires, from independent radio stations to internet video portals, like us. These people are growing our economy in the best possible way by making it vibrant and multifaceted. Entrepreneurs create jobs, they enhance the economy through innovation, research and development, and they create wealth for individuals seeking business opportunities. So what then does it take to be an entrepreneur? What influences are important in starting a business?
Focus and patience. You have to really be committed to building your business. And patience, because things don't happen overnight. I don't think the Steve Jobs story is that he's only one in a billion, and therefore I think you have to have a certain amount of patience to understand that not everything happens overnight.
It's definitely not easy to go into business. Definitely not easy. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Everyone. I wouldn't recommend it to everyone. You got to be really strong-willed, and you got to set your eyes on the goal and work for it. The thing is, I'm a go-getter. Since young, I've always, whatever I put my heart to, I will go for it, and thankfully I've made it so far. And I'm a big kiasu also. So I just strive and when there's a goal, I will go for it and I would not give up. So the bigger the risk, the bigger the return. So that's probably also another motivation. It's like you suffer hard, but eventually you will reap the benefits. Yeah.
What about the fear, the lack of security, of not coming home to a paycheck at the end of every month?
If you're not a person who wants to disrupt your life, don't try going into business. You will have to sacrifice a lot, and you will have to go through a lot. I don't think anyone's successful story is all smooth sailing. And it's the moment that is tough that defines who you are.
What about failure? Not every idea is a great one, and even the great ones sometimes aren't of their time yet. What happens then? What do you do next?
I'm not a risk taker, just don't care and then go for it. But more so, I'm a calculated risk person. So I will calculate the amount of risk. How bad can it be? So for me, the worst it could get to is just go back to work. So, I think that's not very bad either. So basically, just having that calculated risk and acknowledging it and knowing that that's the worst that it can go, accepting it and go forward and never look back. So you got to go forward and work towards the best. You don't spend all your time thinking of, if I fail, how.
If you are passionate about something and you believe in something, it will always be successful. I think a lot of entrepreneurs fail because I think they're either motivated too much by money or building something a little bit too quickly. So I think if you are focused enough to build something and to make the right business decisions, then I don't really see it as particularly risky.
No one said it would be easy, but the biggest rewards often come from taking such risks. So go on and explore that great idea that you have. I know you have one, everyone does. Build a Facebook, invent the television, be uncomfortable, change the world.
And Malaysians need more people like this. Yeah, we need to, the young generation, with all these ideas, don't be worried. You gotta, if you know that, in your heart that this is something that you want to do, you should go for it.
Don't forget to tune in to the next episode of Kopitiam Economy when we'll be talking cash money. We'll be speaking to angel investors and venture capitalists. So if you have any questions for us or for them, post it in the comments below.